Welcome, I am Grace. I am so glad you have returned to this quiet space tonight. Take a moment to settle in, knowing that for the next few hours, there is nowhere else you need to be and nothing else you need to do. Close your eyes gently and let your body sink deeply into the comfort of your bed. Take a long, slow breath in, feeling as if a fresh, crisp sea breeze is filling your lungs, and as you exhale, imagine all the thoughts of the day simply drifting away like a receding tide. Feel the relaxation moving from your forehead, down to your jaw, through your shoulders, and all the way to your toes, like the steady, rhythmic pulse of a lighthouse beam. You are safe, you are held in the embrace of this quiet sanctuary. You are ready to rest. Now, gently open the doors of your mind. You find yourself on a hidden shore, far removed from the rest of the world, where the moonlight stretches across the ocean like a silver path. The sand beneath your feet still holds the warmth of the afternoon sun, soft and grounding against your skin. Right before you, perched upon the ancient rocks, stands a majestic lighthouse, a silent guardian of the night. High above, its great golden light rotates with a slow, hypnotic rhythm, cutting through the darkness to illuminate the crests of the waves before returning you to the stars. Everything is so still, the only sound is the deep, rhythmic sigh of the ocean as it breathes against the shore. Tonight, that light shines only for you tonight. This path is yours to follow into peace. The world you left behind is now nothing more than a faint memory, a distant echo fading into the vastness of the horizon. As you stand here, at the very edge of the hidden shore, the first thing you notice is the absolute sovereignty of silence. But it is not a hollow silence, it is a living, breathing stillness, filled with the softest textures of nature. Your feet are bare, and with every small shift of your weight, the sand rises to meet your arches, cradling them in a lingering, velvet warmth. This sand has spent the entire day drinking in the golden rays of the sun, and now, under the silver watch of the moon, it releases that heat slowly. A gentle gift from the earth to your tired body. You feel the grains, tiny, ancient fragments of stone and shell, slipping between your toes, grounding you, reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be. Take a slow step forward. Notice how the air here feels different. It is heavy with the scent of salt and ancient water, a crispness that clears the mind with every inhalation. It's as if the atmosphere itself is washing over your thoughts, smoothing out the jagged edges of your day. To your left, the vast expanse of the Atlantic stretches out until it bleeds into the ink-black sky. The waves do not crash here, they glide. They arrive on the shore with a shimmering transparency, thin veils of white foam that hiss softly, shh, shh, as they dissolve back into the deep. Listen to that rhythm. It is the oldest clock in the world, a heartbeat that has been steady since the beginning of time. You find your own breathing beginning to sync with it, inhaling as the water gathers itself, exhaling as it lets go. A few hundred yards ahead of you, the lighthouse stands as a titan of stone and light. It is much taller than it appeared from a distance. Its circular walls are painted in alternating bands of deep crimson and weathered white, though in this moonlight, they look like shades of charcoal and silver. You can see the texture of the stones, raw, salt-rusted, and enduring. This lighthouse has seen 1,000 storms, yet it stands immovable, a symbol of absolute safety. As you look up toward the glass lantern room at the peak, the great light begins its slow, majestic rotation once more. Watch the beam. It starts far out at sea, a golden finger pointing toward the unknown. Then, it sweeps across the dark water, catching the tips of the waves and turning them into fleeting diamonds. It moves closer, closer, until for one brief, brilliant second, the light passes directly over you. It doesn't blind you, it warms you. It feels like a golden blanket momentarily draped over your shoulders. A reminder that you are seen, you are protected, and you are not alone in this beautiful solitude. Then, the light continues its journey, leaving you in the soft, blue-gray comfort of the starlight. You continue your walk toward the base of the lighthouse, following the line where the wet sand meets the dry. Here, the ground is firmer, cool against your soles, reflecting the moon like a dark mirror. You see a small piece of driftwood, smoothed by decades of ocean travel. Resting peacefully on the shore, you realize that, like that wood, you have also been tossed by the currents of life, but tonight, the tide has brought you to this place of rest. There is no more striving. There is no more searching. There is only the feeling of the wind, a light, cool breeze that plays with your hair and whispers through the tall beach grass on the dunes. The grass makes a dry, rustling sound, like 1,000 tiny voices telling you to let go. The path leading up to the lighthouse is made of flat, weathered stones embedded in the hillside. As you transition from the sand to the stone, the sensation changes. The stones are solid and cool, offering a different kind of support. You begin the slight ascent, feeling the muscles in your legs work slowly and rhythmically. With every step higher, the view of the ocean expands. The horizon seems to grow wider. The stars seem to multiply, and the sound of the waves becomes a more orchestral, surround sound experience. You are leaving the level of the world and rising into a place of perspective. The heavy oak door gives way with a slow, respectful groan, as if it recognizes your arrival and welcomes the company. As you step inside, the transition is immediate and profound. The vast, open infinity of the ocean is replaced by a sense of immense, solid enclosure. The air inside the lighthouse is different. It carries the weight of history. It is cool, yet it doesn't feel cold. It smells of old iron, sun-warmed stone, and a faint, sweet hint of beeswax candles that must have burned here for 100 years. The walls are thick, carved from the very bones of the earth, and they immediately swallow the sound of the wind, leaving only the deep, rhythmic thrum of the waves vibrating through the foundation. You are now inside the protector. In the center of the circular room, a magnificent spiral staircase made of wrought iron winds upward, disappearing into the shadows of the ceiling. It looks like a ribbon of lace frozen in time. Twisting gracefully toward the light, you reach out and place your hand on the railing. The iron is cool and smooth, polished by the palms of generations of lighthouse keepers who walk these steps in the dead of night to keep the flame alive. As you begin your ascent, the sound of your footsteps is soft, a rhythmic clink, clink that echoes gently against the curved stone walls. The climb is not a struggle, it is a meditation. With every step you take, you feel as though you are leaving another layer of the world behind. The first 10 steps take away the memory of your phone, your emails, and your screens. The next 10 steps dissolve the tension in your shoulders and the tightness in your chest. You are rising above the chaos, moving toward a place of absolute clarity. The staircase is narrow, hugging the wall, and every few feet, there is a small recessed window carved deep into the stone. You stop at one of these windows to catch your breath. The glass is thick and slightly wavy, distorted by years of salt spray. Through it, you see the ocean from a new height. The waves look like silver pleats in a giant silk cloth, moving in slow motion. From here, the world looks so small, so manageable. The lighthouse beam sweeps past your window, which casting a brief, brilliant flash across the interior stones before plunging the staircase back into a soft, velvety amber glow. You realize that you are inside the rhythm now. You are part of the pulse. As you continue upward, you notice small details in the masonry. There are markings on the stones, initials carved by people who found refuge here long ago. You feel a sense of connection to them, a shared understanding that sometimes the human soul needs a high, quiet place to simply exist without being asked for anything. The air grows slightly warmer as you get closer to the top, closer to the great lamp, the spiral continues, and your body moves in a slow, circular flow. It feels almost like you are being rattled by the architecture itself. There is no straight line here, no sharp corners to catch your thoughts on. Everything is round, smooth, and continuous. You feel a gentle heaviness in your limbs. Not from exhaustion, but from a profound sense of relaxation. Each step is a release. Your mind is becoming as quiet as the stone around you. You reach a small landing where an old wooden chair sits, tucked into a niche in the wall. Beside it is a small shelf with a few weathered books and an old brass lantern that is no longer lit. You sit for a moment, letting the silence of the tower wrap around you like a heavy wool blanket. From this height, the sound of the ocean has changed. It is no longer a hiss, but a deep, resonant bass that you feel in your very marrow. It is the sound of the earth's heartbeat, steady and true. You close your eyes for a second, and in the darkness of your eyelids, you can still see the rhythmic flash of the lighthouse beam. You are halfway to the top now, suspended between the earth and the stars. The shadows on the wall dance in time with the rotating light above, creating a hypnotic pattern of gold and gray. You feel a deep sense of gratitude for this stone sanctuary. It was built to guide those who are lost at sea. But tonight, it is guiding you back to yourself. You stand up, your body feeling fluid and light, and prepare to finish the climb. The final steps are waiting, leading you to the lantern room, the place of ultimate light and the softest bed you have ever imagined. The final few steps of the iron staircase are narrower, steeper, and more intimate. As you crest the top, you emerge into the crowning jewel of the tower, the lantern room. This is a sanctuary made of glass and light, a transparent cathedral perched between the dark sea and the infinite sky. The first thing that strikes you is the view, a panoramic, 360-degree theater of the universe. There are no walls here to block your sight, only thick, diamond-shaped glass panes held together by sturdy brass frames. Beyond the glass, the stars are so bright and so numerous that they seem to be humming a silent, crystalline song. In the center of the room sits the heart of the lighthouse, the great Fresnel lens. It is a masterpiece of glass engineering, a massive, bead-shaped crystal that captures the light and projects it miles into the darkness. You can hear the clockwork mechanism beneath it, a slow, rhythmic tick-tock hum as it rotates with effortless grace. The light itself is a warm, golden honey color. As the lens turns, a soft glow washes over the room, bathing everything in a fleeting warmth before passing out into the night. It is hypnotic. You find yourself watching the dust motes dancing in the beam, tiny golden stars swirling in a slow, weightless ballet. You move toward the glass and press your forehead gently against the cool surface. The contrast is exquisite, the warmth of the lantern room behind you and the vast, chilling mystery of the Atlantic before you. From this height, the ocean is no longer just water. It is a living creature. You see the white manes of the seahorses, the foam on the crests of distant waves running toward the shore in endless silver lines. The horizon line is invisible, where the deep indigo of the water meets the charcoal black of the space above, marked only by the occasional twinkle of a distant ship, a lonely traveler finding comfort in the very light you are standing beside. There is a small, cushioned bench built into the circular wall of the lantern room, covered in thick, navy blue velvet. You sit down, and it feels as though the bench was molded specifically for your body. From this vantage point, you feel like the captain of a ship that never moves, a vessel anchored in the stars. The air here is perfectly still, protected from the galeful winds that occasionally whistle against the exterior glass. That whistle is a faint, lonely sound, a reminder of the wild world outside. But inside you are enveloped in a cocoon of absolute safety. You begin to notice the smaller sounds of the lantern room, the slight expansion and contraction of the metal frames as they breathe with the night air. The soft whir of the rotating gears, the distant, muffled roar of the surf far below, which sounds like a giant sigh. These sounds don't disturb the silence. They decorate it. They give the silence a texture, making it feel thick and protective. Like a heavy quilt, you feel a profound sense of hey, not a fear of falling, but a joy of rising. You have risen above the clouds of worry, above the storms of the day, and now you are sitting in the clear, calm atmosphere of the heavens. The stars above seem closer than ever. You find yourself tracing the constellations, the Great Bear, the North Star, the glittering dust of the Milky Way. You realize that the same light reaching your eyes right now has been traveling for millions of years just to greet you in this moment of peace. You are part of a vast, ancient story. Your breath slows even further. Each exhale feels like a weight being lifted, a balloon being released into the night sky. You are becoming lighter, more ethereal, as if you too are made of starlight and sea mist. The rhythmic rotation of the lens begins to act on your eyelids. Light, shadow, light, shadow. It is the universe's own lullaby. The golden glow warms your skin for a second, then retreats, leaving you in the comforting dimness of the stars. It repeats over and over, with a precision that tells your mind it is okay to stop thinking. Everything is being taken care of. The light will keep turning. The stars will keep shining. The ocean will keep breathing. You don't have to hold the world together tonight. You can just be. You lean your head back against the wall, feeling the gentle vibration of the machinery through the stone. It feels like a purr, a mechanical heartbeat that promises security. You feel a deep, heavy relaxation spreading through your limbs. Your hands rest loosely in your lap, your fingers relaxed and still. The immense scale of the ocean and sky doesn't make you feel small. It makes you feel connected. You are a necessary part of this vast, beautiful clockwork. As you sit in the lantern room, you realize that this is the place where the light meets the dark, where the earth meets the sky, and where your soul meets its rest. You are ready to close your eyes, even for just a moment, knowing that the silent guardian above you will keep watch until the sun returns. But for now, the night is yours. The stars are your companions, and the light is your guide into the deepest, most peaceful sleep you have ever known. Having witnessed the majesty of the stars, you feel a gentle pull, a deep yearning for the ultimate comfort of a soft, warm nest. You leave the lantern room and descend just a few steps to a heavy, rounded wooden door. This is the heart of the tower's living space, the keeper's quarters. As you push the door open, a wave of warmth greets you, a stark and beautiful contrast to the cool glass of the tower's peak. The air here is rich and comforting, smelling of itar wood, dried herbs, and the faint, lingering sweetness of a dying fire in the hearth. This room is a perfect circle, designed to embrace you. The walls are lined with bookshelves carved directly into the stone, filled with leather-bound volumes whose spines have been softened by centuries of touch. In the center of the room, a small stone fireplace holds a glowing bed of embers. There are no dancing flames anymore, just a steady, deep orange pulse that radiates a gentle, penetrating heat. It is a quiet light, a humble companion to the grand golden beam rotating far above your head. You can hear the occasional soft pop and crackle of the wood as it settles, a sound so domestic and safe that it makes your eyelids feel even heavier. Against the far wall, nestled into the curve of the stones, is the bed. It looks like a cloud that has drifted in from the sea to rest. It is piled high with thick, hand-woven wool blankets in shades of deep indigo and forest green. The pillows are large and inviting, covered in cool, crisp linen that smells faintly of sun-dried cotton and lavender. You move toward it, every muscle in your body signaling that it has reached its final destination. You sit on the edge of the mattress, and it gives way under you with a soft, welcoming sigh, supporting your weight perfectly. Before you lie down, you look at the small porthole window beside the bed. From here, you are closer to the ground than you were in the lantern room, and you can see the white foam of the waves as they lick the base of the cliffs. The sound is different here. It is muffled by the thick stone walls, turning the roar of the ocean into a rhythmic, low-frequency hum. It sounds like the purr of the universe, a lullaby designed to soothe the most restless of hearts. You reach out and touch the stone around the window. It is solid, immovable, and cool. It has stood against every gale, and it will protect you tonight as you drift away. You slowly pull back the heavy blankets and slide into the bed. The sheets are cool for a fleeting second before your body heat transforms them into a cocoon of warmth. You pull the duvet up to your chin, feeling the pleasant weight of the wool pressing down on you. This weight is like a physical hush, telling your nervous system that it is time to shut down, that the day is over, and that you are completely and utterly safe. You are tucked away in a stone fortress, miles from any noise, any stress, or any expectation. You lie on your back, watching the ceiling. Because of the rotating light high above, a soft, rhythmic shadow sweeps across the top of the room every few seconds. Golden glow, soft shadow, golden glow. Soft shadow, it is the heartbeat of the lighthouse. Reflected in your sanctuary, your eyes begin to follow the rhythm, but they are becoming harder and harder to keep open. Your breath is now a slow, effortless tide. Inhale, the scent of cedar and sea. Exhale, releasing the last tiny spark of tension in your toes. The room feels like it is gently rocking. It isn't, of course. The lighthouse is rooted deep into the granite of the earth, but the sound of the water and the circular nature of the room create a sensation of being in a cradle on the gentlest of seas. You feel a sense of profound home, not the home of chores and to-do lists, but the home of the soul, a place where you are allowed to be silent, where you are allowed to be still, and where the only requirement is to let go. The embers in the fireplace dim slightly, the orange glow softening into a dusty rose. The shadows in the corners of the room grow longer and more velvet-like. You turn onto your side, tucking your hand under the pillow. The texture of the linen is smooth against your cheek. You can feel your heart beating, slow and steady, matching the pulse of the great lens above. You are no longer a person with a name, a job, or a history. You are simply a part of the night, a part of the stone, a part of the endless, rhythmic sea. The world outside continues its dance, the stars continue their journey, and the lighthouse continues its watch, but you are finally, beautifully at rest. As you lie there, nestled deep within the layers of wool and linen, the world outside the lighthouse begins to change. A soft, silver mist begins to roll in from the heart of the Atlantic. It moves like a slow-motion ghost, draping itself over the waves, softening the sharp edges of the cliffs and blurring the brilliant silver of the moonlight. This mist acts as a secondary blanket, wrapping the entire lighthouse in a layer of silent cotton. The rhythmic beam of the light above now hits the mist, creating a soft, ethereal glow that seems to hang in the air. A suspended aura of gold that warms your room without ever being bright. The sounds of the world are further dampened. The roar of the ocean, which was already a distant hum, now becomes a muffled vibration. As if the water itself is falling asleep, the air in your circular room feels thicker, heavier, and infinitely more peaceful. You feel as though you are sinking deeper into your mattress, as if the bed is slowly and gently opening up to hold you. Your limbs feel like lead, blissfully heavy, warm, and motionless. If you tried to lift your hand, it would feel as though it weighed 100 pounds, so you simply let it stay where it is, draped across the soft fabric of the quilt. In this deepening mist, your thoughts begin to lose their shape. They are no longer sharp sentences or clear images. They have become like the mist itself, soft, swirling, and formless. One thought drifts by like a piece of sea glass, smooth and colored, and then it vanishes back into the gray gold haze. You are no longer thinking in the way you do during the day. You are simply sensing. You sense the solid stone behind your head. You sense the gentle warmth from the dying embers. You sense the immense, protective presence of the lighthouse tower standing guard over your dreams. The rhythm of the light glow, shadow, glow, shadow, is now the only clock that matters. It doesn't count minutes or hours, it counts heartbeats, it counts breaths. You find that your breathing has slowed to a nearly imperceptible level. It is a shallow, effortless rise and fall of your chest. A quiet tide that requires no effort at all. You are drifting in that beautiful, liminal space between being awake and being asleep, a place where the colors are softer and the world is kind. Outside, a single seabird calls out, but the sound is so distant and so muffled by the fog that it sounds like a dream before the dream even begins. The lighthouse feels like it is floating now, disconnected from the earth. A solitary island of safety in a vast, silent sea of mist. You feel a sense of total surrender. There is nothing left to guard. There is nothing left to wait for. The mist has hidden the world away. And in doing so, it has given you permission to disappear into the quiet. Your jaw is completely relaxed. The space between your eyebrows is smooth and open. Your mind is like a calm, fog-covered harbor where no ships are moving and no waves are breaking. You are floating on the surface of this peace, letting the current of the night pull you slowly, inch by inch, toward the deep. The light above continues its faithful rotation. A silent all is well whispered into the dark. You are safe. The mist is holding you. The lighthouse is breathing with you. You are slipping away, further and further, into the velvet embrace of the deepening night. In the profound stillness of the mist, the ocean begins to speak in a language only the sleeping can understand. It is no longer the sound of water hitting stone, it is a deep, resonant vibration that seems to come from the very center of the earth. As you lie perfectly still in your cocoon of blankets, you realize that the rhythm of the waves is mirroring the rhythm of your own heart. Rise and fall, inhale and release. The ocean is a giant lung, breathing for you so you don't have to think about breathing at all. Through the thick stone of the lighthouse, the sound of the surf is stripped of its sharpness. What remains is a low-frequency hum, a white noise created by millions of gallons of water sliding over sand and rock. It is the most consistent sound in the universe. It tells you that some things never change, that some things are always steady, and that you can rely on this rhythm to carry you through the night. Each wave is like a gentle hand smoothing out a wrinkled cloth. With every pulse, another tiny bit of tension is ironed out of your mind. The mist outside has grown so thick now that the lighthouse beam doesn't travel miles anymore. Instead, it creates a soft, golden sphere of light right around the glass. From your bed, you see this golden pulse as a rhythmic breathing of the room itself. The room expands with light, then contracts with shadow, glow, and fade, glow, and fade. It is hypnotic. Like a pendulum swinging in slow motion, your eyes are closed now, but you can still sense the light behind your eyelids, a warm, amber presence that assures you the guardian is still awake, still watching, still keeping the world at bay. You feel a sensation of weightlessness, as if the bed has turned into a sturdy boat, drifting slowly away from the shore of wakefulness. You are moving into the deep water of your consciousness. In this place, the sounds of the waves become melodies. You hear the high, crystalline tinkling of pebbles being pulled back by the tide, sounds like tiny bells ringing underwater. You hear the deep, booming thud of a distant swell hitting a sea cave, a sound that resonates in your chest like a gentle drum. These sounds don't wake you, they anchor you deeper into your rest. The salt air has a way of making the body feel heavy and satisfied, like a traveler who has finally reached the end of a very long road. You feel the coolness of the pillow against your ear, and the warmth of the blankets against your skin. And the contrast is perfectly balanced. You are at the center of the world's equilibrium. There is no wind in your thoughts, no storms in your heart. Just the endless, rolling blue of the inner sea. The language of the waves is telling you that the day is done. The sun is on the other side of the world, and for now, your only job is to exist in this vibration. Every cell in your body is beginning to vibrate in harmony with the sea. You are no longer separate from the lighthouse or the ocean. You are the stone, you are the mist, and you are the wave. You are sinking, slowly and beautifully, into the silent depths where no sound can reach you, and no light can disturb you. You are almost there. You are almost home. Inside the circular room, the light has changed once more. The fireplace, which once held a glowing bed of orange embers, has now settled into a deep, hushed crimson. Only one single, stubborn ember remains, pulsing like a tiny, distant star in the darkness of the hearth. It casts a faint, flickering shadow against the stone walls, a final reminder of the warmth that has seeped into the very marrow of your bones. The heat in the room is now perfect, no longer a radiant glow, but a settled, heavy warmth that wraps around you like an invisible hand, holding you still, holding you safe. You feel a profound weight of peace pressing down on you. It is a beautiful weight. It feels as though every muscle in your body has turned into liquid gold. Heavy and immovable, your feet, your calves, your thighs, they have vanished into the softness of the mattress. Your hands, resting peacefully at your sides, feel as though they are part of the bed itself. Even your head feels wonderfully heavy against the pillow, as if all the thoughts you carried throughout the day have finally gained the weight they needed to sink down and disappear forever. The mist outside is now absolute. It has pressed itself against the porthole window, turning the glass into a soft, milky white surface. The lighthouse beam above is now just a ghostly suggestion, a rhythmic hush of light that no longer seeks to illuminate, but only to comfort. Soft glow, deep shadow. Soft glow, deep shadow. The intervals between the lights seem to be getting longer. Or perhaps your mind is simply taking longer to notice them. Time has lost its edges. There is no before and there is no after. There is only the now, the warmth of the blanket, the scent of the sea, and the absolute certainty that you are protected. You find yourself at the very edge of the great silence. Your mind is like a vast, empty hall where the only sound is the echo of a single, receding wave. You are no longer observing the story, you are the story. You are the silence within the stone, you are the warmth within the wool. Every time you breathe out, you let go of another tiny fragment of your identity. You are drifting into a place where names and numbers do not exist. The final ember in the hearth gives one last, microscopic spark and then fades into a soft, velvet gray. The room is now lit only by the stars through the mist and the faithful, rotating pulse from above. The silence is so thick you can almost feel it against your skin. A soft, cool fabric that covers everything. You are so close to the threshold now. The door to deep sleep is standing ajar, and a gentle, dark current is pulling you toward it. You don't fight it. You don't even watch it. You simply let go, drifting on the tide of the night, ready for the final descent into the absolute peace of the deep. The transition is now complete. The world outside has dissolved into a silent, silver infinity where the sky and the sea are one. The lighthouse stands as a solitary pillar of peace in a universe that has stopped moving just for you. Inside your room, the silence is no longer an absence of sound. It is a presence, a thick, comforting velvet that fills every corner, every crack in the stone, and every fold of your blankets. The air is still, the shadows are motionless. Everything that needed to be done is finished. You have reached the center of the stillness. Your breathing has become so quiet, so rhythmic that it is like a whisper from a distant shore. Each breath out is a final surrender to the night. You are no longer holding on to anything, not a thought, not a memory, not even a dream. You are simply floating in the vast, warm dark of the tower. The weight of peace you felt earlier has now become weightlessness. You feel as though you are drifting upward, merging with the mist, becoming as light as the starlight that filters through the window. Far, far above, the great lens continues its silent work, but in your mind, the light has slowed down. The intervals of shadow are growing longer, deeper and more inviting. The golden pulse is no longer a signal for the world. It is a soft, rhythmic goodnight meant only for you. Glow and rest, shadow and sleep. The rhythm is so slow now that it feels like the very heartbeat of the stars. You are standing at the edge of a deep, calm, and crystal clear lake of sleep. The surface is perfectly smooth, reflecting nothing but the dark. As you let go of the last thread of wakefulness, you feel yourself sliding beneath the surface. It is not cold. It is a warm liquid embrace. The sounds of the ocean are gone. The scent of the cedar is gone. Even the feeling of the blankets has faded into a general sense of comfort. There is only the dark, and the quiet, and the profound, unbreakable safety of the lighthouse. You are home. The journey is over. The guardian will watch the horizon. The waves will keep their rhythmic vigil. The stars will continue their slow dance across the heavens. But you are free to disappear. You are free to rest. You are free to sleep. Deep, deep sleep. The light fades. The shadow remains. And in the silence of the stone, you are finally perfectly asleep.